You're watching NappyCast by Jason Nappy Weather. The cold front is through, high pressure to the north, humidity dropping now. You can see very clearly where that front is. There it is, okay? So you've got your heat and humidity down to the south, Bermuda high that's breaking down. The dry air coming down from the north here behind multiple cold fronts. Back to our cold front, 50s and 60s for temperatures in New England right now. It's really not hot across much of the country. Obviously, the desert southwest will heat up, but here it is, that northeast wind, the cooler air coming down through Labrador, and really 60s and 50s right now. Still a bit warm in the mid-Atlantic where you've got 80s, but it's not nearly as hot as it was just a couple of days ago. Just yesterday it was incredibly hot. So here's the surface analysis here. This allows me to see what's going on, and there is the front right here. So here is your front. It's a warm front and a stationary front. The dividing line between where high pressure is bringing that cool air down from the north, and then high pressure to the south. Here's your Bermuda high that is pumping up all that warm and humid air from the south here right now. So if you're on the north side of this, it's on the cooler side. You're on the south side, it is still warm and humid. A look at the surface fronts, all the kind of players in the atmosphere coming down the weather highway the next few days. And here is what is going to be happening. We've got another storm coming through the Great Lakes here, and this one is a rainmaker for the 15th or 16th in a row in New England, in the Northeast. It will bring rain coming through, very low as far as instability in the atmosphere, so it is not going to be a thunderstorm situation, but it definitely will bring rain. Speaking of, here's a look at what the ensemble looks. So the computer models averaging out here to show what's going to be happening, where the greatest likelihood for the heaviest precip. And right now, Central Highlands, Western Mountains, up, down east. This is going to be Friday, Saturday, and it's early on Sunday. You see that big green and yellow blob coming through. That is rain pushing through with that low pressure system. So with this system, there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, okay? And there's a lot of humidity coming up too. So we're getting a break from humidity now, but humidity comes back, okay? So the atmosphere is going to be very moist late Friday to Saturday, so it's going to squeeze out a bunch of rain coming through. So those clouds are really going to release a lot of moisture Friday and Saturday, so there will be a good soaking rain coming through again on the weekend. And the humidity, that's another big topic, area of concern for some that don't do well in humidity, especially in the Northeast New England. Right now, in the next couple of days, notice here, humidity dropping. This is the dew point, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere. Anytime you drop to 40s and low 50s, that's incredibly dry and comfortable air for this time of the year. However, watch what happens here with that storm coming in on Saturday. That humidity, that dew point is going to rise from the south again. The warm front's going to come through and bring that humidity up from the south. So by late Saturday along the coastline and Sunday moving up into Maine, you are going to see humidity surge a bit. Now, it's not going to be as hot and humid as it was, but this is a lot more of a summer type of a storm where it's going to be humid and wet versus it being cold and rainy, okay? Because the storm is coming up from the south. It is pulling by Tuesday out ahead of the next cold front here. By Tuesday, 70s for dew points. That's tropical by Maine standards, okay? And then we're going to wait for the cold front to get here later on, late Wednesday into Thursday of next week here. So there's going to be more humidity coming. We don't get a break really until late next week and then into the 4th of July weekend. So if you're thinking about that, looking ahead to the big holiday weekend, here it is. This is the 4th of July. It's going to be warm, but humidity is low right now, at least to start the 4th of July weekend. We'll see about Sunday, Monday, but right now, humidity low. And also, right now, it looks to be mostly on the dry side to start the holiday weekend next weekend. I can't speak for the whole weekend yet, but right now, at least starting off dry for the 4th, which is when most of the fireworks and celebrations will be. So we could get lucky here. We really have an opportunity here to get lucky if the rain could hold off at all, if it does, to the second half of the weekend for next weekend. For this weekend, it is coming in, and it will be raining late Friday and especially on Saturday. So now if my loyal followers in Maine, it's cloudy up in the county, In Bangor, lots of sun, some high clouds there. Eastport, some clouds. Portland, Lewis, and Auburn, Lewis and Auburn, it's a little bit of sunshine mixing in with clouds, so looks very good. But it will be much cooler, and there are a few showers coming, and especially the western Maine mountains, heading down to the western foothills, also down in southern Maine. Just a few showers today. The real rain gets here this weekend, and that rain pushes in from the west and south. That's going to bring in humidity, but not a lot of heat. Now, if you got to make plans this weekend, Sunday's the better of the 2 days. Here's your 10-day forecast for the mountains. 68, 71, 58 Saturday. That's it. Where we were at around 100 a couple days ago, only 58 Saturday in the mountains because of the rain. Humidity starts to really push into the mountains by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Holds off a little bit for the weekend, but it does push in. And then here come those thunderstorms on Tuesday. We won't have thunder on Saturday inland. It's going to be a rainy day, though. On and off showers, about a half to even more than an inch of rain, especially the more you head towards the Oxford Hills and the western foothills. It will be raining quite a bit. And then we up to 80 on Sunday. So a quick rebound, mostly cloudy, though, and humid. The humidity comes back Sunday through Wednesday. It is not going to be as tropical as far as humidity and as hot as it was. So it's Saturday to Wednesday. Humidity at the coastline sees it first. Temperatures cooling off, on and off showers. Now, as far as Saturday goes, if you have to do things right now outdoors, I'd push things to the afternoon if you can. Right now, the heaviest rain coming through morning, but I'm not going to say it's going to be a dry day Saturday afternoon, okay? There will be rain, but it's not going to be a complete all-day, 12-hour heavy rain washout. So if you got stuff to do, try and make the plans till the afternoon and see what happens, and check back in with NappyCast. Sunday we're clearing out, mostly cloudy though. Not a beautiful day, but it's going to be warm and humid. And then Tuesday the thunderstorms roll in with 80s instead of 90s and instead of triple digits, right? So not quite as hot with this next batch of warm and humid air, but it will be uncomfortable for some, especially by later Tuesday, Wednesday. We're not quite into the 90s, but it definitely will be much more of a summer pattern. Can't really complain too much. It is summertime after all, and we get only a little bit of summer and a lot of winter in Maine.